Come in a comfortable seated position, taking a couple of deep natural breaths to land on your mat. Sit bones are grounding and lengthening up through the spine and the crown of the head. Following inhale and exhale without the need to change anything in the breath. Just relaxing the breath. Feeling the weight of the body being carried by the ground. And start to make your way, the hands in front, lifting up, coming to all fours. Spreading the knees as wide as you can with the feet together. And sitting down towards the heels. So, if you don't reach the heels completely, that's fine. You can place a small blanket underneath or a small pillow. We're going to come into a wide like a child pose. If you need any support underneath the belly, take a big bolster and lay on top of that. Very soothing. If you want to go a bit deeper, just bringing the hands forward, spreading the hands wide, slowly lowering the forehead down towards the ground. Feeling the weight onto the mat. The heaviness of the body. Following inhale and exhale. The sensations in the body without the need to change. In this practice, we will also be still in the posture. If there is a pain, a sharp pain, too much discomfort, then feel free to move yourself halfway out of the pose and find yourself the more appropriate edge to stay for a while. Bringing your awareness towards the lower belly, hara. And from there, observe the breath and the body. And really using this first posture to land on the mat, to ground in your practice, to calm down the nervous system. And allow for yourself to be there. So if your mind is distracting and thinking about ideas and plans and stories, don't let yourself being taken away by them. Simply observe that that is happening. Don't dive into the story, but bring the attention back to the hara, lower belly, to the breath and the body. Two more deep breaths. And slowly bring your hands a little bit closer and moving yourself up to all fours. Moving with the spine hollowing and rounding while moving with the breath. Just a couple movements as we've been still in a pose for a while. Make movements that feel right for you, whether subtle or a little bit stronger. But be kind to the body. And then slowly moving the chest down first and laying flat onto the belly. Bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders and the hands flat onto the floor. Fingers spread widely. And gently press fingertips into the ground, or you can place the palms touching. And pressing the fingertips gently into each other. There's no force. The neck is aligned with the spine. And see if this is the appropriate posture. If you feel there's too much tension in the lower back or the middle back or the hips, move the elbows forward, holding the elbows with the hands, and halfway the posture. Or if it feels even more appropriate, the elbows all the way in front and resting the forehead down. If this doesn't do anything, just straighten your arms. And you can walk the hands a bit closer towards the shoulders or coming into seal position. And breathe there. So Sphinx is the full posture. You find your appropriate variation. Eyes can be closed or soft gaze following the line of the nose. Observing breath and staying connected to the lower belly. Observing physical sensations, the changing of the body when we stay longer, not judging, just being. And observing if there's any need to change the pose to a softer version with the elbows in front. Or if you want to proceed and continue into seal position, either halfway, 3/4, or all the way. When you're all the way, sternum is moving forward and up, creating space in the spine, aligning the neck. Staying here for a couple of breaths. And on the next exhale, slowly start to lower yourself down, elbows and arms in front, and resting the forehead down to the ground. Feeling the weight of the body, and you surrendering yourself to the earth, to the ground below you. Placing hands underneath the shoulders, buttocks goes up first. Coming into all fours, now tuck in the toes and bring yourself into a downward facing dog, a playful one. Moving the feet, just the body for a moment. Then stepping the right foot forward, placing the foot just behind the left hand and the right knee just behind the right hand. Left knee can come down towards the ground, coming into sleeping swan. So some people have sensitive knees, so place a small blanket underneath the left. Either you can stay here, or you can start to move with the elbows onto the ground, palms touching or flat onto the floor. Or you can bring hands down, resting onto the ground. Stay there where you are comfortable. If this is too much for you, bring your weight towards the right hip and then bending the left knee and staying here. So we still have a very beautiful posture, targeting the liver gallbladder meridian. It is less intense, gentler on the knees. So you can bring the right foot closer to the left elbow or closer to the left hip. You find your own appropriate way, but make sure that the knee is on the outside. And that your torso is in a symmetric line above the body. So don't lean too much on the right, but really creating a balance in the hips, in the back, having both the weight on the right and on the left leg. You can always come out earlier if you need to, or come out halfway, coming into the modification with the left knee towards the left side bend. Three more breaths here. Then on inhale with the hands, bring yourself up. We place the right knee to the center. And then we're going to swing the left leg over, bend it and place it on top. So the right knee is nicely in the middle and we stack the left knee on top of that. Sometimes it's nice to have a pillow underneath our seat if you're struggling, or underneath the knees, or in between. So depending on your posture, either underneath or in between. Find your right way that fits you. It's quite intense posture. So before we start folding, make sure you're comfortable. The knees are okay. Or adjust your pose. So adjusting could also mean the bottom leg to stretch it forward and stay there. We will get to this pose eventually as well. So if you feel comfortable enough, start to move the hands forward and slowly folding, either with the arms straight and be supported, elbows on the ground, or relaxing yourself, folding over the knees. Observing physical sensations without the need to change anything. And remember, we change if there's too much intensity, when there is a pain, a stinging pain, just an intense pose. Try to stay with it and observe the change and breathe into the area that has the most physical sensation. Three more deep breaths. Then with the hands, inhale, slowly bringing yourself up. Placing the left hand underneath, reaching up the right, and on exhale, folding. So keep yourself supported with the left. We add a nice side stretch to the posture. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And on the inhale, coming back to center. And we're going to straighten the bottom leg. So this knee, it tries to meet the bottom knee. If there's no space, you can also place the ankle above or somewhere towards it. It's not an easy pose, and slowly we'll get there. So either stay up straight, tilting the hips forward and holding with the knee and lifting up the chest. And if you have enough comfort, you can start to fold forward with either the hands supporting you, elbows onto the ground, or crossing the elbows in front and resting the head or chin onto the knee. So finding your own appropriate edge. Relaxing the left and the right leg and foot. Aligning the neck with the spine. And you might notice a change, that it's becoming easier, more difficult, more intense or less intense. Adjust yourself to it if it's necessary. Three more breaths. Feeling the sit bones grounding, the weight of the body, the physical sensations. Now inhale, slowly start to push yourself back up. Good. So we bring the left foot flat onto the mat, the hands next to you, and we start to bend the right leg as well, keeping the knee slightly up, and with the right hand holding the left knee, inhale, lengthen, and on exhale, gently twist towards the side. Keep grounding through the sit bones and really feeling and breathing towards the spine. Don't overstretch your neck. Find the appropriate edge. 70% of the capacity. And being able to breathe comfortably. Soft gaze of the eyes, or eyes are closed. And even if we're still, feel the movement of the breath, creating flexibility in the body, creating space. Very gentle movement from within. 3 more deep breaths. And then exhaling, coming slowly back. Just for a moment, cross the legs and with the hands supporting, opening gently and rounding. So do it soft. After the twist, we just want to create a gentle flow of movement. A couple of times in your own pace. Alright. So placing the hands in front and coming to all fours. Tuck in the toes and press the hips up and then away from the hands into a downward facing dog. So moving the knees one by one, creating some movement in the body. Stretching the back. So if you keep the knees slightly bent, there's more space for the spine. Just have a nice stretch there. We're going to do the other side. So bringing, the left foot and knee forwards. So the foot is behind the right hand and the knee is behind the left hand. And the right knee comes down to the floor. The right foot is flat and now sinking that hip down towards the ground. So you can stay here. You might feel the difference already of the left and right side. It doesn't matter. So I just stay here. Placing the elbows onto the ground. You can go deeper, placing elbows in front, or even the arms just all the way in front of you. Making sure the torso is aligned with the mat and not having the right or left hip leaning down too much. So if you need a softer pose, bring the hands first to support. Now bringing the weight towards the left hip, then bending the right and staying here. Still targeting the meridian of liver and gallbladder, but in a softer pose. So choose that option if that's a good possibility for you to do. Sleeping swan on the left side. So feeling the weight of the body on the areas where you're touching with the ground. So if this is straining on your right knee, you can place a pillow underneath or like a blanket, something soft, padding. Or you can press the right foot gently in to also release a bit of tension from the knee. If this is tension on the left knee, just come halfway out or coming into the variety. Nice modification. So make sure you are practicing in a safe way. And the left knee is on the outside line from the left elbow. Observing inhale and exhale. Observing physical sensations and the change of it. Observing if it's getting more intense or less intense or staying the same. 3 more deep breaths. And on inhale, slowly start to come up. Bringing the left knee in front, leaning more into the left hip so you can sweep that right leg around, bending the knee. So this is, I'll change. So really the left knee is in the middle. And we're going to place the left knee on top. So sometimes that's just not possible and you end up being here. That's fine. So if the leg is here, doesn't matter. That's also fine. And sometimes it's nice to have a support underneath the bum. And really makes a great difference. Or a little bit of support underneath the left hip. If you have a space underneath, place the pillow here. Or in between. Also very supportive place to put it. So taking some time to get here. This can be quite intense on the left knee, so I would suggest if you feel any pain there, just make it less intense. So only if the knees are stacked above each other, lengthening up, and then starting to fold forward. Either just with the arms straight, elbows down to the ground, or if you're feeling very comfortable, rounding and releasing the head down, and the chin might rest onto the knee. So finding your own appropriate posture, either sitting up, supported by pillow or 2 pillows, or folded forward. Feeling the weight of the body, and also notice the difference in the posture on the other side. Without any judgment, just as an observation. There's often a difference in 2 sides. So relaxing in the body, surrendering to this posture. Keeping the neck aligned with the spine. Three more breaths. And inhale, coming up. Placing the right hand next to you, either behind the foot or on the side. Reaching the left arm up. And on exhale, we're gonna have a nice side stretch, leaning towards the right, but keeping that support of the right arm. Maybe it's a bit uncomfortable, we won't stay very long. Adding a full upper body side stretch, stimulating meridians. Feels quite intense. Also on the left hip and thigh. Maybe also on your waist, lower back. Only change it if it's too much or come out earlier. 2 deep breaths extra. Breathe towards the places with the sensation to create space. Inhale, reaching up, and then exhaling, releasing. So now we're gonna straighten the bottom leg, the left. And the right is still bent with the knees stacked on each other. So if that's becoming a bit too intense, you can also place the ankle against it, just above the knee. And stay there. Just find for yourself, again, the most comfortable modification. So the legs are relaxed, the feet are soft, lengthening up, tilting the hips forward. So you can have the hands on the knee to help your heart and chest lift up and tilt the hips forward. Either stay here, or if you have the space, we start to fold forward, either with the hands and arms supporting, maybe with the elbows onto the ground, hands further, or all the way flat, resting the chin on the knee. Soft gaze of your eyes, or they're closed, and here feeling also the weight of the body on the ground and the places of your body that are touching. So the hands, the heel, back of your left leg, the right foot, sit bones. And connecting to the hara, lower belly, pelvic floor. And feeling those connections as your support. And this hara, center of life force energy, is also a place where to concentrate from. To always stay connected. And when our mind and our stories, our thoughts are carrying us away, always remind yourself it's coming back to the breath in the lower belly. Two more deep breaths. And inhale with the hands, press yourself gently up. Now with the hands you can help yourself with placing the left foot onto the floor. And then bending the left leg, and the heel will come close to the hip. We're gonna support ourselves, lifting up, place the right hand beside. And then on exhale, gently twisting. So the sole of the right foot is grounding. So is the side of the left foot and the sit bones. Soft twist, so only 70%. And watch your neck here. Don't over twist the neck at all. Lengthening up. Following inhale and exhale. Feeling the subtle fluidity of the breath on the inside of the body. That even if we're still in a pose, we're still moving from the inside. Breathing into the spine, diaphragm and the heart space. Two more deep breaths. And then exhaling, coming back to the center. Placing then the right leg behind and coming onto the knees in all fours. Placing the knees together, the feet together, and slowly sitting down towards the heels and laying down into child's pose. Either with the hands and arms in front, elbows to the ground, or the arms behind you. And adjust to your needs. Inhaling, coming up. Opening the heart and exhaling round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale and exhale. Coming to neutral. We'll come into square pose. So, coming to sitting. Sometimes sitting on a little pillow can help. Something like this. Not too high. So you can tilt the hips forward and it's easier. So we place the leg in front, same as your mat, horizontal. And we're going to place the left leg on top with the foot on top of the knee and the knee on top of the foot. So if this is not possible, maybe you feel you need to have some support like this. This makes it much more comfortable. Or here and underneath. Or you can just place the foot in front of each other like that. This is the gentle form. And I stay up and folding forward to wherever you can. Wherever feels comfortable. And if you are in full square pose, so take some time to get into it slowly. Tilting the hips forward, lengthening in the spine. And then from there, I just stay here or start to fold forward. And with the hands in front, with arms straight, into the elbows, or all the way down with the head to the floor. aligning the neck with the spine. To feel the support of your body, your sit bones, your legs, but also your underarms, hands, however you are positioned right now. Connecting to Hara, lower belly. And feeling the breath movement. Noticing movement on inhale and on exhale. 2 more breaths. And on inhale, slowly bring yourself back up if you were falling forward. Now releasing, we're going to change sides. So I'm placing now the left leg on the bottom. And again, you can stay with the legs in front and back of each other like this. So change how they were before. The right leg in front or the left one in front. If you come into full position, so the foot comes on top of the knee and the knee comes on top of the foot. So you notice for yourself if you have less space on this side or more. Also, it doesn't matter. It's good to observe. Lengthening, grounding the sit bones. And exhaling, coming to fold forward. Either with the arms straight, elbows to the ground, maybe all the way. Circling. So find your own appropriate posture. So if you come in the pose and you think it's alright and it changes, and it becomes painful, and you have a stinging pain and it becomes too much, just come halfway out. So you place then the right on the inside of the other leg. So they're in front and back of each other. Stay where you are if you can, and just breathe with that what is going on. Again here, feeling your support. The sit bones, the legs, the feet, hands or elbows. Surrendering to the pose and allowing ourselves to be with that what is without the need to change it. And if it's not harmful, be with that what is, even if it's unpleasant. And observing any change. Surfing and following inhale and exhale. Creating space with the breath. Two more deep breaths here. And then inhaling, coming slowly up. First taking the right closer to the groin. Then start to straighten out the left and the right. Okay, so with the hands, give yourself a short massage. It's quite intense for the legs, the sequence for the knees. Coming into a seated position with the feet touching. Soles of the feet. In a diamond shape. So the heels are not too close to the groin, just a nice diamond shape. Lifting up, and now for yourself, feeling how are the hips and how are the knees. Observing if you're holding up by putting and engaging the legs, or are you really relaxing in the pose? This is the question. As when we relax, this is when our body is allowing us and releasing and creating space. Well, if we're holding, nothing is happening. So I would like to invite you to really feel for yourself and decide if you need to have any support underneath the knees. This way you don't have to do anything except for relaxing, and then the hips can open. So choose that for yourself. 2 equally big pillows, not one, just both. And then slowly start to walk yourself into laying position. If you use a pillow, make sure it's very thin, or just a blanket underneath your head. Open the arms to the side, the palms of the hands open. So feel what feels best for you. And then breathing naturally. Just observing the weight of the body. Breathing into the front of the body. Breathing into the back of the body. Bringing your full awareness to the back. And breathing into center of the body, all of the inside. Bring all your attention there. Feel your body as a whole, full awareness there. Also the skin, the inside, your limbs. Breathing into the full body and feeling the movement of the in and exhalation. Bringing your awareness to the space below you, supporting you. And bringing your awareness to the space above you, the sky, touching the air. And the space on your left side. And then on your right side. And bringing again full attention to the weight of your body. And then as a whole, surrounded by your environment. Taking a deep breath in and out. You can bring the knees slowly together, spreading the feet, either placing your pillows underneath the knees Coming into Shavasana, supporting for your lower back, or taking your pillows away and coming into a classic Shavasana, the legs wide and the arms open to the side for a couple of deep breaths. Just taking a couple of deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, inhale new energy. Exhale through the mouth, exhale the old out. Inhale new energy. Exhale the old out. One more deep in and exhalation. Stay as long as you want in Shavasana. Staying fully aware. The breath, lower belly, physical sensations. Pure awareness without being carried away by your thoughts and ideas or stories. If that happens, just again come back to the breath and the belly. Fully relax. Either stay where you are or start to move fingers and hands, toes and your feet. Bending your elbows and rotate the wrists and your ankles, both sides. And stretching your arms overhead, stretch yourself fully out, inhale. And exhale to release through the mouth. And bringing the knees toward the chest. To rock and roll, left to right, massaging lower back, hips and sacrum. And rolling yourself onto your side. Taking 3 more deep, relaxed breaths. Relaxing face and jaw. You can also stay here. Or when you're ready with the hands, start to push yourself up to sitting with your eyes closed, cross-legged or feet front and back of each other. Take a deep breath in and out. Feel the sit bones grounding the weight of the body. Observe for a moment how you are, how you feel. Placing the hands in front of the heart together, palms are touching. And set your intention for the rest of your day. For that, what is left of it. And bow towards your heart. Hands in front of the forehead for purity of mind and thought. Front of the mouth for purity of speech. And in front of the heart for purity of the heart. Namaste.